Keeping venomous reptiles is an unforgiving hobby, requiring proper training and lots of experience. One simple mistake can be the difference between life and death. Remember, the most venomous snake in the world is the one that just bit you. There are no venomous snakes with training wheels. Just because you see Viperkeeper handle snakes a certain way does not mean you should try it too.
Howdy, Viperkeeper here. I've been trying to produce a FAQ update or mini rant or whatever you like to call it. The reason is I have lots and lots of new subscribers who insist on asking all the same questions that have been asked before, only because they don't know, and many of you thankfully refer them to the FAQs or answer the question for me, because I just simply do not have the time. You can't imagine how crunched my timeline is right now. Matter of fact, I am taping this FAQ update from an undisclosed location in the middle of the United States. I will try not to get off on too many tangents and try to keep this succinct. I have made a brief list of things. This will be sort of, updates on interesting stuff as well as the old stuff. So let's just get with it. First of all, yes, I am in the process of producing a calendar for 2011 with many of your favorite critters inside, as well as perhaps even a few surprises. I've got literally hundreds of photos that I selected, I started from. I've whittled it down to about 50 photos. Now I have to get that down to maybe 25 and then finally 13 that will make the calendar, which I hope to have printed very soon and available mid-September, early October. I have no idea the pricing. I will certainly try to keep it the same price it's always been since I've been doing this, approximately $20 for U.S. Folks. That's $15 for the calendar, $5 for a priority mail. It's a little bit more expensive for international stuff, $15, and I think it was $12 or $13, a total of $27 US for those folks overseas who wish to have my beautiful calendar. I will increase the press run only slightly because I did run out. And some people that were late did not get a calendar. I'm sorry, but I've had surplus the past few years that I've produced it. I don't like to waste things, and throwing copies in the garbage and wasting spent money is not my idea of a good thing. So keep your eyes open for that. I will make a formal announcement when I'm ready to go. I was very pleased with the response last year, and many of you who have had the calendar the past few years, talk it up with your friends. It's professionally done. Photos of my critters and at my facility, all your favorites, with the exception of maybe Mr. Brown, because he doesn't sit still long enough to get a photograph of. But at any rate, you get the idea. Yes, I've been bitten before. A matter of fact, just a few days ago, I had a close encounter with a baby Arutu that was just born. I was not envenomated, fortunately. Again, it was stupidity on my part. Too many little pogo sticks with venom bouncing around. one was swinging on the hook, and I went to knock another one off the lip of the tub with the lid, and the one on the hook swung around and nipped me on the knuckle. It drew blood, but I think it was only a glancing blow. The only bite that I've had since 1974 that I've received anti-venom for was a timber rattlesnake bite that I received 6 vials of Wyeth crotalid antisera, and the recovery was more or less uneventful. So yes, I've been bitten. No, not with any great frequency, fortunately. On top of that, I've only had one bite that I've received anti-venom for, fortunately. Now, the YouTube channel and the videos I produce are, there's no other way to say it, it's my channel, and I will do exactly what I please to do. Some of you, not many, have commented on my political comments. I may interject at some point. If you don't like it, too bad. There's other channels out there. See ya. I will not be muzzled. I will say what I feel is correct. I will back it up with fact. And most of you who have commented negatively, you usually resort to name calling and dropping the race card because you can't fight me on the facts of the situation. So my channel, I do what I want. Case closed. You don't like it, sayonara. Done. Another commonly asked question is, where do I get my dollars from? Well, the basic answer to that question is, none of your damn business. But on a broader sense, I did exactly what I preached to every single one of you. I read a lot of books, I studied hard, I work very hard for the money that I make and that the government takes quite a bit of. And I suggest if you're a youngster still in school that you do the same, because the rewards are the same. You control the situation, nobody else, no excuse. Study hard, do your homework, do extra work, make and do something that you have a passion for. That's the key to success, and that will give you the abilities later in life to enjoy, certain things and benefits that I'm currently enjoying, and you people are wondering, how I could get to do this. Well, the bottom line is it's hard work for my whole life. Everything I have, I've worked very hard for. I didn't have, rich relatives or anything like that. I studied hard in a field that I could get a good paying job and command respect, and that's what you need to do. Why feed frozen thawed? It's quite simple. Frozen thawed animals, feeders are easy to stock. I don't have to take care of them. They don't require food or water. I just keep them in the freezer. All I have to do is thaw them out by popping them in water. Once they're thawed and nice and warm, all the snakes which you enjoy, for the most part, enjoy their tasty treats. Same thing with the chicks. But the main reason why I don't feed live, and I do feed live. There are a few animals that prefer live food, mostly the saw scales, and there's a few others. That's why you almost never see saw scale videos, is because the vast majority of them feed live food, and I refuse to put that on. This is a learning channel, not watching death and carnage take place. I really feel for the little guys that I feed live. A lot of times I'll let the snake strike, and as quickly as I can I pull the animal out and I dislocate its neck from its brain from its spine, so it dies even quicker. I don't take any joy in the fact that I have to sacrifice another living animal, but this is the way God created everything on the planet. Whether you believe that or not, that's entirely up to you, but that's my story and I'm sticking to it. The PETA and animal rights people go nuts, and one thing they criticize herp keepers and other animal keepers is, oh, you're torturing that poor mouse just to give it a meal to that snake. And no, again, that's the way nature has it, and that's the way it happens. But you know, those people are responsible for all these nice laws that are taking animals away from private keepers, all the laws against snakes and other animals like big cats and stuff. Not necessarily the statistics for being so dangerous and lethal, it just doesn't bear it out. So, you know, they have to attack from a different standpoint because their other reasoning doesn't hold any water. Subsequently, you will not see live feeding on my channel because that's not why I want people attracted to my channel. You know, if you want to watch blood and carnage, there's plenty of other channels to watch, and I suggest you take care of your bloodlust there. Now, I am working on a website. I have the domain reserved. I won't tell you that because you'll only bug me further. Again, my schedule is exceptionally busy. There's all sorts of things going on behind the scenes which you don't get to see, but I am even more busy. Hence, I am recording this from a hotel room at an undisclosed location here in America. So that will be coming down the road also. A lot of people ask what kind of substrates I use. Well, I use a couple different kinds of substrates. For incoming snakes that are here temporarily in quarantine or such, I use shredded aspen because it's inexpensive. You can't use pine because the pine tars and oils will kill snakes and other reptiles. Aspen doesn't have these toxins in the wood flakes or bark, therefore it's compatible with keeping reptiles on. I also use reptile bark by ZooMed, and the large bags that I get, I think, are the largest that they make. I wish I could get larger, but they're, as far as I know, they're just not available. But I use zoo bark for a lot of the terrestrial snakes. I have a hardwood mulch that I use for snakes that require a little bit moister habitat, like the rhino vipers and gaboons. I'll sometimes keep them on that. But you have to be careful with that because you can easily, if it gets too wet or moist, it induces scale rot, and that's a very difficult thing to treat, especially if it's a venomous snake, because it requires a lot of handling and a lot of treating. So another substrate that I use quite commonly is crushed English walnut, and I forget who makes that, Desert Blend, I think it's called. Subsequently, you know, that's for the burrowing snakes or the desert snakes that like to hide under substrate and stuff. Now, caging. I generally use 3 different types of cage, maybe 4. I could be lying. Most of them are vision cages. Vision cages are generally well built, although they do have a design flaw. The lip in the front bottom and the front top has a perfect resting area for a snake to hide, and I do know people that were bitten by snakes hiding under the lip in front, and they reached in, thought the snake was in the hide, and got nipped on the arm. So that's a flaw. You need to try to block that off the best you can. so you don't have that problem. And those are the gray cages. The white cages, mostly arboreal, are herpcages.com or bar cages as they're known. These folks are really, really nice to work with. I highly suggest if you're doing arboreals that you get their cages. High quality workmanship and a very good price also. I also have a few precision cages. I don't know if the guy's still in business or not, but they're the white ones that the saw scales and stuff are in. It makes for a very nice small habitat for desert snakes mostly. My rack system, a company called Reptile Basics in North Carolina makes those. They're also an excellent company to do business with and work with. Their tubs are fantastic because they're totally flat bottom and easy to clean. You don't have little nooks and crannies that can hold crap and stuff. So they're highly recommended, and they stand behind their product 100%. Not any sort of endorsement, except I use them. I think these guys are very good, as well as the vision cages and everything else. I don't receive anything from any of the companies. I'm just telling you because I believe these are good quality products for keeping reptiles in captivity. As far as heating, I mostly use Pro Products heat panels, which are just very efficient, and the snakes can't easily burn themselves. By the way, I also use heat rocks, and I've heard for years and years that my snake got toasted on it. Well, I guess you have a stupid snake or something, because I've been keeping animals on heat rocks since the 70s when they became available, and I've never injured a snake with it at all. So that's my take on heat rocks. Lighting's very difficult. I don't like any of the lighting fixtures that are out there because they're all cheaply made in the Far East, and I prefer to use a domestic product. I use these little GE cabinet lights and stuff. They're not perfect, but those are inexpensive. They're made of metal, and I can always replace the parts very easily. The expensive plastic ones that you get from the Far East, I've had nothing but trouble with. So I won't pass judgment on anybody's lighting systems because I think they all stink. I get my own light bulbs from a company in Texas that produces natural lights. These are full spectrum. So the color balance when I do video and or photography, the color balance is okay, and it's perfectly it looks natural. There's nothing more annoying than taking a fantastic shot, one of a kind, and you can't get the color balance correct, and it looks like crap. So that really annoys the heck out of me. So I use natural lighting. This way I get good color balance, and the snake gets natural sunlight for all intents and purposes. Same spectral profile, so they're able to maintain their health. Well, people ask sometimes how I got started in this. I've tried to catch snakes ever since I was able to run around like a maniac. And my first snakes that I was able to catch, of course, were local snakes found in the Hudson Valley region of New York. Decay snake were common around the city, and they've really carved out a little niche for them, and we used to find these quite regularly. So that was probably my first snake. Also, common garter snakes were also fairly available, as well as water snakes at different ponds and stuff. As I was able to go out to different habitat levels, either on foot or by bicycle, or occasionally I would get to go some places by car. I would catch rat snakes and racers. I would also catch some milk snakes, and you'd occasionally come across other oddities and such that were in the area. Eventually I worked up into copperheads and rattlesnakes. The copperhead den site was within walking distance of my home, my parents' home, and I would spend many a day up there walking the mountainside looking for snakes. Rattlesnakes, I had to go a little further, therefore, I didn't really start messing with that until I was 16 or 17, and the way I would usually end up going is I would bike 20-25 miles there, climb up a mountainside, collect rattlesnakes, and put them in a carry box strapped to the back of my bicycle, and basically pedal my ass all the way back home, the 25 miles. No big deal. Not like the kids of today that whine if the car isn't available. We'd eat. I did what was ever necessary to go out and collect snakes and have fun. I was a junior docent at the Museum of the Hudson Highlands in Cornwall, New York, where I took care of the venomous and non-venomous snakes that they had that were indigenous to the area. And I also did an internship at a couple other reptile places, including, spent a lot of time at the Bronx Zoo Reptile House and knew some of the people that worked there as I was a youngster. Another question that comes up very common is, do I milk the snakes? The answer is almost uniformly no. I'll tell you the exception. If I have a particularly rare snake, or a investigator would like a sample of the venom but not necessarily keep the snakes, I will extract from them. Extracting from venomous snakes puts you at risk like you can't imagine. It's not something that I undertake lightly, but the bottom line is you have to pin and grab the pointy end and then get the snake to bite into something to release its venom. That venom is then stored in a certain way so it can be sent to the investigator. I know the people at the 4 leading venom labs in the United States. I know many of them very well. They don't do it for the money, I'll tell you that. They do it because they like to provide future drugs to pharmaceutical companies that are interested in pulling compounds out of the venom and creating drugs to help mankind and cure diseases and alleviate suffering. They certainly don't do it for the dollar value. Let me explain to you. One fellow I know quite well, he gets bitten once every 14,000 extractions or so. That's still a lot, considering some of the snakes that he extracts from. One rattlesnake bite, or even a little tiny sidewinder bite, as one of my friends knows on the West Coast, can be very, very costly. for one rattlesnake bite, one sidewinder, the little desert species out in the desert Southwest, well over $100,000. Do you know how many snakes you have to milk in order to, not only milk, but sell venom to recoup $100,000? You can't possibly make up, anywheres from that depth of loss in your business. One bite will put you almost essentially out of business if you're just doing it for the money. I know people who've had others, domestic rattlesnake bites. Cost them $500,000 by they were done when it was all said and done. Keeping venomous snakes is a very serious business. Many of you, don't take it as serious as it is. I accept the risks. I understand the risks. So do these people at the Venom Labs. So certainly they don't do it to make money. Secondly, there's 4 Venom Labs out there. The market's saturated. These labs have been in existence for many, many years, and there's no reason for someone else to try to break into the market because all the venoms that are extracted have to be processed under FDA-approved laboratory conditions. Bacteria and cellular debris needs to be extracted and removed from the venom. The venom must be then lyophilized, which is a freeze-drying process, so it can be stored at room temperature in a dried state and keep all of its native properties. Has to be weighed very precisely so you don't get the people off. You can develop allergies to working with the venom and therefore allergies to the snakes you're working with. Even if you don't get bit, you might have to give up snake keeping. Certainly, it's very attractive. Taipan venom sells for $1,000 a gram, let's say, or let's say coral snake venom sells for $1,000 a gram. Do you know how many coral snakes you have to milk in order to get a gram of venom? You probably have to milk 400 or 500 coral snakes to get that sort of yield. That's a lot of risk taking and certainly not worth it. And unless you have one of these certified labs and stuff, most investigators are not going to buy venom from you because they have no idea of the quality. They don't know that you've kept it properly, processed it, stored it properly. It's just a real waste of time. It's a risk to yourself and to your snakes. So best just leave the venom inside and not in you or in a cup. Allow them the luxury of applying it to their frozen thawed prey so they can have a natural lifespan as possible. Furthermore, if you pick up snakes like that and you pin them and that's not the way I keep animals. I accept that's absolutely necessary for a venom production facility that the snakes every 2 weeks get sort of roughed up and grabbed and pinned and every other thing. So I absolutely accept that that's the case. That's what's necessary. There's no way around it currently. Subsequently, that's okay. If I put an animal out on loan to the labs, if it's a rare animal they want display, they always contact me and say, Al, do you mind if I extract some venom from this animal? I have a request for it. And I'll either say, no, I don't, and or I say okay, and they go ahead and do it then, because I don't handle my animals. I don't pin them unless there's a damn good reason to do it, and I don't extract from the snake. There are occasions. Recently, I extracted from the Bitis parviacula because the venom was that snake's venom was never being characterized before Subsequently, there's going to be a formal Venom publication coming out in a not too distant future, characterizing the venom also with LD50s and which antivenoms might work the best for counteracting its bite. So, I have milked that. I've milked some of my Middle Eastern snakes because someone requested samples to make sure that the antivenom was effective for our soldiers that are over in those Middle Eastern countries. Essentially, that's the only reasons why I will milk those particular animals. Now, I've babbled on for over 30 minutes. I might have to break this up into two parts, but that pretty much covers it without too much fanfare. For now, Viperkeeper, they're coming to get me. I hear that in the background. I'll see you on the channel. Take care.